Hi, it's Wednesday and I am off to photograph some branding sessions for some restaurants in my hometown of Vienna, Virginia. What we're doing is getting some good atmosphere shots for Vienna Restaurant Week coming up. We're going to get some images of the food, special plates. I want to get the vibe of the restaurant itself, hopefully get the owners or the chef in there somewhere. So even brick and mortar buildings and even restaurants, they need branding shots too. So come along with me, let's have some fun. So what I thought was probably the best thing to do was to kind of walk you through what I did yesterday at my photo shoots and how I work as a branding photographer doing brick and mortar and restaurant settings. I am not a food photographer, as I have said, but as a branding photographer who's done weddings, done events, I know how to shoot details, I know how to shoot ambiance, I understand lighting. But I also like to bring the people aspect into it as well. We wanted to get some shots that can be used for the restaurants to promote their events at Restaurant Week. We also wanted to get probably some generic footage that the town of Vienna can use to advertise Restaurant Week and market it in the future. So when I first walked in, they had asked the restaurants, we went to 2 restaurants yesterday, they had asked them to create the meals that is going to be their special during the week. So when I got there, they were cooking the meals, and the first restaurant was it's called Saray, a Lebanese restaurant in downtown Vienna. And they had just mixed up some drinks for me, so you can see, kind of show you here. Let me see if I can get this a little closer. Just starting with the lavender martinis, we were at the bar. You can see I really liked getting some action shots of the bartender preparing the drinks, and then they brought out the food. I got some above the table shots, but I also wanted to really get the feeling of the restaurant in it. So we got all different angles of the food, and one of the owners came out and I wanted to get some shots of her holding her meal. It's always good to have some hands and action shots of the food. So, and then there's the co-owners. I wanted to get some good shots of them together, and I thought that worked out really well. The lighting was very interesting. You can see I had to rework some of the different lights because there was a mixture of light sources throughout the place. That's why when I took them together, I actually brought them to the window to get their headshots because I wanted to get some natural light in there. I brought along lighting, I brought along some constant lighting, I brought along some flash, and when we wanted to light up the room a little bit more, I used the larger strobe light, but at other times I was really trying to, because we were there actually during meal times, so there were clients in the restaurant, and I didn't want to get too involved with making anyone move. So a lot of these were just natural light. So anyway, so this was just the first restaurant we went to, and again, it's a good ambiance, and I think you get a good idea of what type of restaurant it is and the feeling of being there. That's what I'm really looking for in these sessions. So the second one was this tiny little restaurant in downtown Vienna that was basically, the high point is that it had a lot of natural light. As you can see, this is outside it. This is all window, but that is also the entire restaurant. So it was a very small restaurant. We were between seatings for this restaurant, so there was not any patrons there. So we had to do what we could with the owners and the chef and my assistant that was along with me. So you can see some of this again, getting top down of the meals, the ambiance. It was beautiful lighting in there, and it really complemented the food, and the colors stand out on their own. But we wanted to also get into here, we had some cutting into the food, and then just the owners. Again, personality and the feeling of the place. I had no idea that the server, he's the sommelier, he's the maitre d', he's the face of the restaurant when you go there, and she's the chef. I didn't know they were a couple before I started taking these pictures. And then I could really see the personality come out. I could see the pride of what they had and just kind of the sense of fun that they had. And even at the end, you know, we got some what looks like atmosphere, eating the food, and then just tried to make it look like we had a restaurant full of people. But the important thing is showing off the food. The important thing is showing off the feeling and getting that warm feeling of when you're serving. And the dessert here was I think it was, don't quote me, but like a Lithuanian type of donut. And the final touch is powdered sugar that's sprayed onto it. So that was a fun shot to get, just get a little action in there. And then at the end, we decided, because there isn't a whole lot more to show and there wasn't a lot of branded merchandise in the restaurant to actually get the door. It's an iconic location in Vienna. You know it if you see it. And this was a very strange occurrence that happened to me. And what that was I actually stood on the main Maple Avenue in downtown Vienna, and there were no cars. That never happens in downtown. I was able to stand far enough back that I could get the whole restaurant in it. And I think that added a little personality to the shots. So that was my day yesterday. I had so much fun. I have 2 more coming up next week as well. Every restaurant is different. Every host is different, but people couldn't be nicer. Downtown restaurants in Vienna are the nicest people out there, and such a pride of food. And I'm so happy to be helping share their branding with the rest of the area. So enjoy. I hope to be sharing some more photos soon.